Get down! Get down!
Hey!
Get down!
What's going on?
We're under arrest.
I know you're protecting someone. You're not.
My name is Nwankwor, writer, director, producer. I just premiered my first feature film titled Tempting Fate, July the 4th, 2014 at the AMC Theatre, Houston, Texas.
Look, I had to do what I had to do, okay? You need the surgery. We need to save our house.
Hello, my name is Ramsey Tokubono, an Hollywood actor, and I'm playing the character of Ugo in the movie Tempting Fate.
And the money, are they yours?
Isn't 5 years enough time for you to recover from thieves like me?
Hello, my name is Andrew Anochi, and I play the role of Adu in Tempting Fate.
And my name is Tiffany Denise Turner, and I play the role of Tracy.
Done with what?
Cut the crap and start talking!
My name is Dan Davies, and I play Scorpion in the film Tempting Fate.
I'm John J. Vogel, and I play Detective John Travis in Tempting Fate.
My name is Suleik Suman, and I'm the director of photography of Tempting Fate.
My name is Kimberly Krall, and I play the character of Tiffany, Edu's love interest in the movie.
My name is Emmanuel Oja. I am the executive producer of the movie Tempting Fate.
My name is Pedro González Arbona. I am from Madrid, Spain, and I am the composer of the soundtrack of the upcoming film Tempting Fate.
My name is Nwankwor, and I am the producer of the movie Tempting Fate. You can find any information you need at www.temptingfatemovie.com, and follow us on Twitter and on Facebook at Tempting Fate.
Hey, he's a good guy. He takes his religion seriously.
Who pays the bill in this house? Me.
I saw the movie for the first time on July 4th, 2014, during the premiere. All this time, he's kept it very close to his vest, so I did not see it until that particular day. And I was totally astounded, by what I saw, and it's kind of made me feel a need, to help in whatever way I can in the future, if it intends to go for some other production. Be it a sequel or something new, I'll be there to support it.
I found out about it through LA Casting. Actually, it was at LA Casting, not Actors Access. LA Casting, and it just had a, Nigerian, ages 18 through 25, and light skin, knows how to do Nigerian accents.
I originally found out about Tempting Fate via Backstage, which is a huge newspaper for actors and directors and writers for being able to, audition or find work and all that stuff. So I originally submitted, and the story was completely different. It was about a husband and a wife and their troubles. Well, by the time Kevin actually brought me in to audition for the film, the entire plot had changed. But he still brought me in, and after reading the script, I was so touched by the story of these two brothers who loved each other so dearly that they would do anything for each other. And then my character, Tracy, who plays Edu's fiance in the film, I was so touched and moved by her side of the story.
I started writing about Tempting Fate then. Initially, it was supposed to be about the man. That's how it's supposed to be. It was supposed to be about a man that is in love with a girl, and the girl, had cancer, and the man tried everything possible to, rescue the girl. That was the original story, the synopsis I had. So later on, I said, okay, no, let it be about brothers. Probably one of them have cancer. They don't have to sacrifice, try to help the brother out of cancer and all that stuff. I was like battling around it. So when I talked to my wife, she said, okay, but why must it be cancer? I said, babe, you know what I went through. My dad, may his soul rest in peace. I got admission to study filmmaking in New York Film Academy, and I was so excited. And I called him and I said, hey, Dad, finally I did. And he said, wow, he prayed for me. in a very low voice. You know, I knew something was wrong because then I knew he was like, you know, sick, but I thought it was a regular diabetes, you know, and all that. So I didn't know that that was a little, you know, that he was dying of cancer.
Hey, you need the surgery. We need to save our house. When our parents died, I took an oath to do whatever it takes for him to get good medical treatment to make him stay alive.
I know how you feel, right?
You have no idea how I feel.
We originally met our first rehearsal. We didn't even do a screen test together. So Kevin just trusted the two of us to be able to walk into a space and be able to create the lives of these two people. Absolutely. And I'm so glad that he trusted us to do it. It's an honor and it's such a privilege to be able to tell Tracy's story. And being in the room with him the first time, I think we just automatically connected. Like
love at first sight.
Aww.
Just like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin was gonna go with someone else, but Kevin. But anyway, he wanted someone else for the role, and he told me that his wife saw my tape and really just loved it and said, you know, that's your A-dude right there. So
well,
I was really fortunate.
Right.
And you know, after that, I went in, you know, for a second read, for a callback, and Kevin was there with Scott Looper at this time, and
you had actually just left. I didn't meet you, but I came in right after you.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
you know, I believe Kevin told me just yeah, your Tracy just left. I believe it was.
Oh, okay. So
he mentioned that. So yeah, it was funny. I walked in and he didn't have me read it over again. He just said, he explained what the character was about to me, and he said, you know what, I was actually, you know, looking at other people as well, and you know, but your tape just stood out to us, and you know, so I'm going to describe what the character is about. And then he mentions, do you know who Ramsey Noah is? And I'm like, Ramsey Noah? Let me think. Yes, I know who that
is. Which is funny because I didn't.
Yeah, really?
I didn't know who Ramsey Noah was. I had never heard him because I didn't grow up watching
right.
A lot of Nollywood films that he's in, and so I had to do research on him. And then when you go on his, you know, just his IMDb page, which is the Internet Movie Database, and you look at all of the films, it's like the two of us have like 2 films, and he's got like a rap sheet, right? We're like, how in the world do you have close to 200 films under your belt already?
That's insane.
But you can see, and then being on set with him, it shows. It just shows. He has such a brilliant mind when it comes to film. He knows his audience. He knows his way around a script. He knows his way around a director's spot and decision making. And it just, being on set with him, matched with Kevin, who is the actor's director, who knows what to do with an actor. Not all directors do. So it's nice to be able to work with somebody that you can have a conversation with about character or blocking or whatever, instead of just being put on you. Being able to be in the space with Kevin and Ramsey was just mind-blowing.
When I read the script the first time, I instantly fell in love with the character. It was I wouldn't say he was right up my alley, because I had to learn a lot when it comes to this character. Get into the story about, you know, this guy is just a fun-loving person. He really is. You know, has a great heart, has a great spiritual sense about him. Very calm.
Capacity for love.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Compassion. Yeah.
Always compassionate, always loving. You know, even with his fiance. But as far as you know, just reading the Bible, always going to church. He's a singer. He's just very strong religiously.
Right.
You know, that right there, I had to do a lot of research for. I had to, you know, really connect to that character a lot more, you know, in that sense.
Working with Kevin on Tempting Fate and working with the cast and crew was literally one of the best experiences of my life. Not just film experiences. I've been on films all over the United States in North America, and I've had not the best experiences in the world with some of the cast and crew. These people became my family.
I've been contacted with Kevin since a year ago, and he asked me to compose the soundtrack of his film, and he sent me the screenplay, and I started reading the screenplay once and again, and I started just being so inspired and touched by the story and the characters. So I composed the main theme very quickly, And then the film was shot in September, and I received the film from the crew, and I started I continued composing the soundtrack once I received the movie, and I was very inspired this time by the acting of these amazing actors. And then once I composed the soundtrack, I hired some music players like violin or cello or guitar players, and we recorded the soundtrack. Yeah, one of the themes I composed for this soundtrack of Tempting Fate is called Brother's Love, and I try to express the relationship between Hugo and Edu, the two characters of the movie, and I use different variations of this theme around through the movie, and it started like being a very happy theme with guitar and woodwinds at the beginning of the film, and as time went by, I started experimenting variations a little bit darker, because it tries to tell the variation of their lives.
Well, my role as the executive producer, has kind of evolved, since I stepped into it, earlier. I've left most of the decisions to the producer, Mr. Kevin Nwankwor. I have full trust and faith in him. So I just work in the background, to see wherever my help is needed.
Alright, so my experience is a little bit of a whirlwind experience. I actually got a phone call about an hour before they were actually going to start filming, and Kevin actually had asked me, "Hey Kim, can you come down and film something?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, they forgot to cast something," and what went through my head. And so I was like, "Yeah, absolutely, I got you, just no, I'm not ready yet." So I get down to set, they give me the script, and thankfully it's 3 lines, 3 very easy lines, nothing too hard. So I'm like, oh good, this is exactly what I'm doing. And we film the scene and everything's done, and all of a sudden everyone comes up to me and they're like, "Thank you so much for helping out." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And it turns out that I got the bigger part in the movie, and I had no idea, but it was awesome, and everyone was there and very supporting, and Andrew was fantastic. He made me feel very comfortable on the set, so it was quite of a whirlwind experience, but it was awesome, and everyone that worked and who was involved definitely made me feel very comfortable and welcomed already.
I played this Ugo character, the elder brother to a cancer younger brother, who both of them came in from Nigeria and thinking that they could find greener pasture. So he got here, and when I looked at the character, I really liked it, because the character was you wouldn't call it like the antagonist, really, particularly you can't label it the antagonist, though it is, in script writing and all. But it's this kind of a character that, by circumstance, he found himself in the wrong place, and the bad wind blew him in the wrong place. He took wrong decisions, yes, growing up and things, just because he needed to survive, or he needed to make things happen. And those wrong decisions were what made him look like the bad guy. But I love the character so much, besides the fact that it wasn't like naturally he was an evil character. No, he was very, very responsible to the brother. He wanted the best for them. They already lost their parents to the same cancer, and then his younger one too is going to die. So it's like saying he's the only one who's probably going to be the survivor in the family. I didn't want that to happen. So he wanted to do everything. He felt the brother was too godly, too into church, believing in faith and all. And he said, our parents believe in our faith, and where did it lead them? Complain about it, still they died. You want the same thing to happen to you? Because we need money to like help you out here. Of course, he's a responsible person. The responsibility that he naturally has, he passed on to his younger brother. He didn't want to lose his family. Hence, he didn't want any other family at the time. So, but now the child is here, his brother is well, definitely having the child would be the utmost thing for him. Like, wow, this is my blood, this is me, So, of course, it was more of his child at the time. Yeah, and probably he might find Chinedu's forgiveness somewhere along the line. Chinedu will forgive him for his deeds. You know, he probably would, but then he has a new baby and a new life, so it's cool. I'm sure he'll go for a child.
Someone. You're not saying anything in court. You're not answering their questions. Look at me.
When you read a script, you don't know quite where it's going to go, and then there's a scene between Hugo and Idu that they're in. Idu's been arrested, and he's in the jail cell. And so I was walking by while they were doing the scene. It was on the first day of shooting, and the scene that I heard, right now, I was talking about it yesterday. I've got goosebumps because it was so strong and so heart-wrenching to listen to the scene, and I really thought, I'm like, wow, this is something incredibly special, you know, and it really turned out to be.
And it's such a performance-driven film, and it's not because we're involved with it or in it, but I was the same way. On set, I'd be watching the actors, and I would be transposed. I literally would be right there with them, and it was just an amazing moment to be that into it, where you're seeing genius at work, literally. Yep. So I'm excited about it, and it's amazing. Did you like working with Sulek Suan?
I love working with Sulek.
He's amazing. He's our director of photography, and Kevin hired amazing people.
Absolutely.
Nwankwor. And but Sulek is awesome. The first time I met him, he looked at me and goes, "Dan, I'm going to tell you something. You're not as handsome as you think you are." And I was like, wow, Sulek, thanks, dude, jerk.
And I went to Sulek and I said, Sulek, Dan is as handsome as he thinks he is.
But he was amazing. He's an amazing person, an amazing guy.
One of the most remarkable things that we've been able to achieve in the film is to recreate what it means to be a family. You know, is to bring insights into the relationship between two blood brothers and their lives and their struggles in a big city. And that's the world that we were out there to create. You know, we started small, and the thing just grew, and the film grew primarily because of the performances. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, what was laid out in front of me. You know, I call us, the camera department is your first line of defense of sorts. We see it first. And we just set the stage and let the performers take over. But each and every character and how they were able to interpret their roles and exceed it, you know, way beyond my expectation. And I'm sure Kevin was thrilled to see the performances that there were.
It was amazing. Like the first time that Sulek came for the read, I didn't know who he was, and he walks into the room, and I'm into my accent, and everybody's doing their stuff, and there's a scene, and someone brings up a point of like, how would you shoot this? And Sulek walks into the room like just out of nowhere and says, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the camera through the window, and it went into this great detail, and I'm listening to him going, I'm so thankful to be on this film, to be with a DP who can deconstruct that visually the way that you did, and I felt comfortable.
Yeah. And the crew, the rest of the camera department, everybody that you brought, you know, as an actress, what people don't see is how difficult it can be when you're on set. And, you know, it's not a woe is me, but you're like sitting there and you're trying, you know, you've got a lot of dialogue and you're trying to get ready to bring the emotion, everything that you've worked on, and then the crew is like working right around you, and they're like, you know, like, okay, bring that flag in here, let's get to this, and like, you know, hang on, the sound is like, you know,
that felt good.
but you guys were awesome. They're so respectful of the process, and even having the crew like Diane was just so. Diane was one of the camera operators, and you know, there's that scene with me and Ramsey at the bar where I've got to confront Ramsey, you know, and you know, I'm doing my thing, and then, you know, and she's like, come here, and she's like, really lean in, give it to him. So, and I did, and it wasn't like, sometimes you would be kind of offended if somebody were to do that, but that's the kind of family environment that we had and that you helped bring, you know, that we were able to work on this.
I mean, my approach is very simple in terms of filming. You know, this space, it's a sacred space where the performance takes place. So there should be no intrusion into that space, because that's where, you know, we're doing God's work in the sense that there is reality, but we are trying to create lives, relationships, emotion, reality, everything that you experience and see outside in the real world, we try to create it on the silver screen. And it's a transformative process, because you know, from words to life, and it's just life through the process where they act and they make it real, they make it seem real. So me and my crew, we just had a very simple philosophy: is performance is paramount, and allow them this space. So there wasn't any rigid blocking. Oh, this is your mark, so you must land on the mark, otherwise, you know. So we gave, it was a fluid space that they inhabited, and that approach sort of extended itself to other things that pertain to cinematography. It was how we were lighting, you know. You could light very specifically for those marks, or you could create a space where they're not sort of bound by it, because it takes away the freedom.
Yeah. A good example of that, and I'm glad you brought that up with Diane too. It'd be like you guys do a run through of it. So there's one scene where my character loses his mind and goes after Ramsey Noah's character, and I choke him and throw him on the couch. We broke the couch. We did it so many times. But there was that one practice, and you guys got all the movements that I needed to do and covered it beautifully, and I went, I love working this way. Because there's a construct. If you say, here's your mark, here's your mark, here's your mark, you can't go there. Those parameters limit actors. So you're opening that up, and you did a great job with it. Kevin was the same way.
I know you're protecting someone.
Kevin, just like you said, he really is an actor's director. He's such an easygoing person. He gives you notes right after the first take or the second take. He gives you room to basically explore and do what you need to do as your character.
And
like
it's also
said,
open to listening to us, you know, when we have suggestions or have a thought about something. He was very open to listening and receiving it instead of just quickly shutting us down, that people do in general. So it was really nice to be able to speak what you thought and actually know that somebody was listening to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was great. It was great. I mean, working with everyone on set was just amazing. It was.
I mean, from the director to the lighting crew to sound to our PAs,
crafts table to to the producers themselves. I mean, a couple of producers were on set, and they were just watching us do what we did, and it was amazing. Everyone interacted so beautifully, and still get along till today. And this whole interview thing that we're doing now is it's beautiful because we get to reunite again and just relive old times and it feels so good. Gotta do the pianos too?
Well, just that part.
Oh, okay.
Kevin literally was like the field general.
Absolutely.
On the set. And he's one of those types of directors where you give him a suggestion from an actor's point of view, he's going to go for it. Yeah. For my character, Scorpion, is somebody, he said, Dan, I want him to be Russian. I said, I can't do a Russian accent, but I can do a Kazakh accent, like an Eastern European Kazakhstan accent. And he goes, okay, that sounds good. Because my Russian accent sounds like that Yakov Smirnoff. In America, people drive tanks. In Russia, tanks drive over people. Remember that dude? So that's, I didn't want to sound like that. I wanted him to sound more Eastern European, more Kazakh. And he listened to me. And Kevin just was like, Dan, this is amazing. And every suggestion I made, he essentially took, that's a true actor's director, a true director's actor.
Well, I'm playing the detective John Travis and hunting down these guys. Kevin just gave kind of license to do what I wanted, and I went to him and I said, Kevin, tell me, whatever you want, you tell me, and I'll you know, help me mold this character, and he was, this room is yours. So you find your character, and it did. You know, Detective Travis ended up coming out in ways, you know, having to go, you know, acting with Ramsey, Noah.
Yeah. Wow.
Is a gift.
Yeah.
It is an absolute gift to work with him because he makes sure that he's done what, 175 films?
Crazy, 25 years.
Yeah, it's crazy, and what he does and how he knows, you know, the craft, but it's not only that, but he knows how to work with you as the actor, but also working with the crew and so on. I mean, you know, he just really brought everything up to another level when we were working with Ramsey.
And you know, and Andrew and Tiffany too were amazing actors, but they took that level, they took their acting abilities to the 10th level, to the best level, because Ramsey brought it up in everybody. It was weird because Ramsey always would go, for my character, he'd always think, you know, Dan, although he agreed with me later, he said, kind of recede it back a little bit, recede it back, and I said, you don't understand, he's crazy, he has to be this bold, crazy Kazakh killer, he's a bank robber, he can't be reserved. And it took me 3 hours to convince Ramsey of the way I was going about it. And I still don't think he thinks that, but it was, he begrudgingly agreed. But you'll have to see the film.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing too, and everybody had kind of their, on the set, their idiosyncratic, you know, behaviors and fun things. And there are so many bright people that were on the set, you know, and they're all so idiomatic, you know, they come up with these little phrases. And I remember Kevin's was, 2 birds in the bush is better than 3 behind the house drinking beer. I was like, what? I'm like, Kevin, well,
that doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't. I was like, what?
It must be a Nigerian.
I don't know.
You know.
No, but it was cool. So
didn't quite translate.
Well, I didn't know that birds drink beer in the room. I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
But what was your favorite quote?
My favorite quote was actually just today. It's like, what was your quote today?
Yeah. You have to bear the cross on earth to be able to wear the crown in the heaven.
Yeah, amen. I can juggle. I can do impersonations too. I'd like to do an impersonation of Bill Clinton. I believe that tempting fate is going to win a lot of awards. That's my Bill Clinton. And I'm going to do one more, if you guys don't mind. Any suggestions? Okay, someone said Jimmy Stewart back there. This is Jimmy Stewart. This is Jimmy Stewart from It's a Wonderful Life, okay? You know what you are, Mr. Potter? In the grand scheme of things, you're nothing but a scurvy little spider. The people that live and die in those communities are too much to ask if they have a home. That's my Jimmy Stewart. I'm great. What's that noise?
Making a movie makes or breaks relationships, and you could be the best of friends for decades. You do a movie together, and either you're going to be better friends or you're going to be not friends at all. And we have all become very close friends from this movie, which is a very odd situation to have, that we become as close as we have.
Yeah.
So,
John, I've got a favor. I can't open this water. Would you be able to? That's what true friends do.
I can't. Oh, there you go.
Thank you. That's what true friendship. You got hand grease on my.
Oh.
What? But anyway, a true friendship, and the movie too speaks that. When you look and when you watch Tempting Fate, you're gonna see real life actors that have become best of friends. The movie is so inspirational and so poignant. I'm super proud of it. It is one of the crowning achievements and things that I've ever done in my life.
Yeah. And lastly, but last but not the least, I think it's important to make films like Tempting Fate. I think there are films that entertain, but I think we need films that not just entertain mindlessly, but that they have a profound spiritual message that you can actually take into your lives and make it better. You know, and that's where you know, Kevin is a man of character and belief, and I think to be able to do this. And once this word goes out, I'm sure it'll make a difference to lives. People who see it can relate with that transformative message.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I want the audience to basically take away in this movie. I want them to take away, just the love and passion, what this movie is about, really. There's a lot of compassion in the movie. There is betrayal as well, but you learn a lot of things from this movie. I believe it connects a lot to real life events, things that actually happen to people in their real life. People get betrayed every day. You go on Facebook and Instagram and all these places and they're all like, oh man, she stabbed me in the back, she betrayed me. It happens in this movie, and people can connect to that. And and the love, there's no better feeling than love, and that's what this movie really is all about at the end of the day. It's all about love. Two brothers who love each other so much. So one of them goes about the wrong way to try to help out, but at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, just love.
Yeah, and I think the movie speaks to the power of redemption, the power of compassion, and the power of forgiveness, because we all deal with certain issues on a day-to-day basis with people, and I think this story really does implement, especially with Idu battling cancer and the brother turning to a life of crime to be able to assist, in the payment of everything. There are other storylines that kind of follow through, but it really does speak to how can one redeem themselves after going through such a battle, or how can one forgive not just one person, but potentially could be multiple people, and only through compassion and love are you really able to do that, once you really do understand both sides of the story. And I think that's something that has always spoken to me as an actor, being able to play humans, right? Being a storyteller, that's what we do. We tell the human story. We are able to convey the thoughts, the words, the actions of other humans, whether positive or negative, and what those effects could potentially be. And so hoping that at the end of the day, there's a redeeming quality to someone else's life that I can add. Being able to make the tough decisions from a character standpoint so I can help somebody in their real life to be able to power through or overcome or forgive or redeem or love on. It speaks to a higher purpose, a greater calling, being an actor.
Absolutely, and I love that. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what I fell in love with the script in the first place. I mean, that's why I fell in love with the script in the first place, because it just speaks about that. Nowadays, you see movies that just, you watch them and you have no idea what the message is. And, the ultimate message at the end of the day here is love. And, that's what sells for me.
I think what we really enjoy doing is being able to display human emotion and human affection and the human spirit.
Absolutely. Do you have any final thoughts?
Forgive, love, be happy, enjoy life.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not the only one that's ever been through something that you're going through. You're never alone. And with that instance, you're able to transcend so many more and experience so many other possibilities, of just living life and being with other people. Never cut yourself off because of something that's happened. Always be willing to share and share your story, especially if it's something that you've overcome. Be willing to share with other people because it could help someone else.
Absolutely, and I'm going to piggyback on that. You just live your life. Yeah. Be in the moment every second of the day. Wake up with a smile on your face. Be positive, and life is short. And you just never know which way it's going to take you. So, forgive, love, care. Whether you know the person or not doesn't matter. It could be a complete stranger. It could be your loved one. It could be someone you actually hate. So. I always try to be positive myself as a human being here in this world, So that's the message I will send out there. It's just be positive.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everybody's against you.
I would like to say thank you to Kevin, the director. Thank you to the producers. This has been a privilege for I'm sure I can speak for all the actors when I say this has been a privilege for us to be actually be a part of this whole production. It's just been amazing. It's been a fun ride, and we've had so much fun.
We have.
You know, we're still having fun, so it's amazing. And for those of you who haven't seen the movie or weren't part of the premiere, I would like you to log on to www.temptingfatemovie.com, or you can go to facebook.com/temptingfate.
I had to do what I had to do, okay? You need the surgery. We need to save our house. When our parents died, I took an oath to do whatever it takes for him to get good medical treatment to make him stay alive.
I know how you feel, right?
You have no idea how I feel.
Hey, he's a good guy. He takes his religion seriously.
Who pays the bill in this house?
Me. Who works day and night for you to stay alive? Me.
I do not want to kill you.
You know, many a time people kill themselves because someone they love jilted them. But you see, son, jilting is like the end of a chapter.
Chinedu, I brought you here to tell you I'm sorry, okay? I am sorry. Just try and forgive me, please.
Don't lie to me.
Does the walker choose the path, or does the path choose the walker?
Good question.